Well, now we'll turn to our next in our must have apps category, and it's all about finance this week, all about Luca. So I'm going to first of all hand over to Warren to talk about this section and the demos he's going to bring us.
Money, that's the word. Money, 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 as you said, Ed. And of course, we need finances. We need to organize those finances. And our world is not the same like it used to be. We don't go to the bank and stand in line like we used to. I'll never forget those days. I'll be standing there, and back in Denver, there was a special window for people with disabilities. So I was treated like a king. Well, now those days are a little bit behind us, unless there's something that one really needs to go in and sign for or anything like that. We manage those finances right online, don't we? And so today we're talking about some of the apps that we're using, and I'll be talking about a couple apps. The first one that I'm talking about is the GPay, Google Pay. And that is my first one up, and here is my demonstration of GPay. This is demonstrating Google Pay, otherwise known as GPay. In this demonstration, I'll be using my Pixel 5a running Android 12 and TalkBack 12.1. For speech services, I am employing the Google Speech Services. I am on my home screen now, and what I will do is to invoke GPay either by saying the magic word and asking it to open up GPay, or simply swiping down with two fingers from the top of the screen and tapping GPay found just above the first notification found in the notification shade. Swiping down with two fingers reveals the notification center, and just above that we have the last line of items from within the quick panel. I will now swipe down with two fingers and revealing that notification shade and finding and tapping on GPay to the top left above the notification shade. Here I go.
Notification shade.
I'll put my finger down and find GPay.
GPay, 4 bullet 19. Wallet. Close button.
I put my finger down and it says GPay 4 bullet 19 ... Those are the last digits of my card. And at the very top left corner, we have the close. Of course, if I tap there, it will close down the app. Below that, in the middle, it talks about my card. If I put my finger down,
Pay with Rumble.
it says pay
Message.
with Rumble. Rumble is the nickname I give to my card. You can give your card a nickname, and so mine is called Rumble, R-U-M-B-L-E. At the bottom of the screen is a button that says
Show all button out of list.
Show All. Tapping here will take us to a screen where we could manage other cards that I have in here already. But as of now, Rumble is my default. But if I go in here by tapping on Show All, I could choose a different card that I have here in my account and set that as my default for GPay, or add a new card for that matter if that is what I wanted to do. I will now tap on Show All.
Show all button. Google Pay. Open navigation menu button. Showing items 1 to 2 of 2.
Tapping on Show All, the first thing we landed on is the open menu found near the top left corner of the screen. We'll be coming to that, but we have two items here, and these two items have to be items that I have besides my Rumble. And it could include things like cards from the stores or, things like that. Let's see what I have.
Choice hotels, choice privileges, 1 of 2, in list, 2 items.
I have Choice Hotels here.
Sears brands, shop your way, 2 of 2.
I even have Sears here. Now, at the bottom of that, we have
Add a card button out of list.
Add a card, and here's where we can go in to add a card, whether it's a debit card, a credit card, or some loyalty card and all of that. You could add those to your Google Pay. As a matter of fact, you could even add passes to this if that's what you wanted. We'll come back to that, but I want to go back to the first item on the top left corner, which is that open menu, because there are a lot of things here that we could look at. I'll now put my finger down and find and tap on that open menu on the top left corner of the phone.
Open navigation menu button.
Open navigation.
Menu. Google Pay image.
I am now in the navigation menu, and I want to show you the things that we have here. Some we may look at and some you can look at by yourself. Tapping on that, here are the items that we find.
Payment methods in list.
We have payment methods. If I tap here,
Google Pay. Back button out of list. Showing items 1 to 8 of 8.
I am being told that there are a total of 8 items in here. I'll put my finger down and go through those items that we found in the payment methods. In other words, I could choose either of these things found here among the 8 items and make it my default payment method. Here are the items that we find.
PayPal enable contactless.
There's PayPal,
Amex 4 bullet.
my American Express card,
Google Play balance.
Google Play balance,
Visa 4 bullet 7.
my Visa card,
Rumble is your default.
Rumble, which is my default, that's my debit card,
Google Store Finance.
Google Store credit card,
Credit or debit card.
and the last item at the bottom is credit or debit card. Tapping on that will take me to where I could add a card. I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Google Pay. Choose a card to set up. You can choose a card that's already saved in your wallet, add a new one, or add PayPal in list.
So here, I could choose any of those cards that we saw earlier, and they reappear here. So I could choose either my Amex or my Visa card or any of the other cards, or add a new card. I'll show you what I'm talking about.
PayPal. Enable
There's
contactless.
PayPal,
Amex 4 bullet 10.
Amex,
Visa 4 bullet 7.
Visa,
PayPal. Link your
PayPal,
credit or debit card.
credit or debit card. Now that's the one that if I tap on, it will automatically open up the camera so that I could simply capture the number of the card and add it that way, or I could choose to manually add it. I'll show you what I'm talking about by tapping here.
Flash auto button out of list.
Tapping on that automatically opens up my camera and says, flashes auto. That means I could put my card down and it will capture my card. Because if I put my finger down, listen to what it says.
Add a card. Align your card to this frame and tap to focus.
So you align your card and tap to focus, or at the bottom, I could
Enter details manually button.
add details manually, which means if I tap here, I'll be adding those info manually, things like the card number, expiration date, and all of that. I'll now go back.
Google Pay. Credit or debit card in list.
And I want to go tap on the menu again, open navigation drawer.
Open navigation menu button. Menu. Google Pay image.
So the first one we saw in the navigational drawer was the payment methods. The next item that we have below that,
Participating banks.
participating banks. You could tap here to see if your bank is one of those banks that has partnership with GPay. The next item below that we have
Activity.
activity. Here you could see your activities, things that you've used the GPay for, and things like that. Next item,
Settings.
settings. Let's quickly go into the settings here and see what we have. Here you could turn things on or off.
Settings. Back button out of list.
We are now in the settings, and here are the items that we find within the settings.
Email updates. Get exclusive offers, tips, and invites to give feedback. Switch on. Email
Next,
updates. Gmail imports. Connect to Gmail for automatic access to things like loyalty cards, tickets, and offers sent to your inbox. Switch on. Gmail
Next,
imports. Edit account info. Update your name, address, or other account info.
next,
Personalization within Google Pay. For example, get offers from stores where you shop and recommendations for ways to save. Switch on. Purchase notifications. See transaction details after you make a purchase. Switch on.
next,
Updates about your passes. Stay up to date on your events and flights, and find out when your saved offers are about to expire. Switch on. Offers and tips. Hear about rewards and discounts relevant to you, and learn how to get the most out of the app. Switch on.
and that's the
Offers and
last
tips.
item within that settings. I will now go back.
Google Pay.
Going
Open
back
navigation
takes me back to the main menu, and I need to tap on the navigation drawer again.
Menu.
So the last item that we saw in the navigational drawer was the settings. Now below that settings, we have the following.
Contactless setup.
This takes you to where you could set up your contactless method of payment. And if you go in here, if you already have one, then you will see what you have. I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Close button. Out of list.
We have the close near the top left corner. And if I put my finger down
You're all set to pay with your phone. Heading.
and
You've added a card. Use it to pay with your phone, in apps, and online, in list. You've set a screen lock. Your phone must be unlocked to pay.
and the last item here,
Your phone meets security requirements.
and tells me my phone meets security requirements. I'll now either go back or tap on the close near the top left corner.
Close button. Google Pay. Open navigation menu button.
And I'm back to the menu UI where I need to tap on that navigational drawer again. And here I go.
Menu.
So the last item that we saw was the contactless payment. And below that we have
Help and support.
got help and support,
Send feedback.
send feedback,
Google Pay privacy policy and terms.
and that's the last item. That's all we have in the simplistic
Showing
GPay.
items 1 to
And now you go on and set up that GPay.